Welcome back to the Narlee verse. I want it to be like sharing a memory. I want to make this part of the video kind of blurry, but the footage that I'm sharing this from is still up at this moment. It's October 2017. I mean to say I'm recording this voiceover in October of 2017. The original footage I'm using wasn't as blurry as this one. I added an extra filter this time, but I wanted it to kind of resemble like how I remember it. I wanted to pick like one video that I could just kind of chop up and use over and over, because I'm not like interested sharing like lots and lots of footage of my kids. Like this channel again is about me and things I want to talk about, but I wanted to pick one memory that I could share with you guys that kind of reflects last few years. So this is the room that I had set up for my firstborn before my best friend moved in. And she moved in because I was having a hard time emotionally. I didn't have custody of my daughter by that point. It had already been a couple years that I had not had custody. And I would go for years just cleaning this empty room, and it was haunting. It was haunting to hear her toys play in the background. You know, I'm still shaken to this day talking about what I felt like. And also, you know, what she must have gone through, like how weird it must have been for her. But they did, you know, up until a point, they did take care of her. So this was during a visit. At this point, I had not been taking care of my firstborn for a few years, and they had just dropped her off. This was 2012. They had just dropped her off. I hadn't seen her in a few days. I had about she'd come drop her off about 4 times a week for a few hours, and because the goal was reunification, but it was always, they were just, anyway, I'm not going to get into details, but you know, my ex-in-laws, we didn't get along very well. So I wanted to just share this and just talk about the fact that I feel embarrassed to share pictures or footage of my own children. I'm not comfortable with it. I never have been, but now more so, if ever. And that's weird, man. It's really weird to me that I would feel so uncomfortable with sharing even a filtered, blurry picture from years ago to anybody. And it eats me alive inside, and that's what haunts me. So that, you know, every once in a while when I do actually feel like talking about family, it'll be old footage, and I wonder if I'll ever be able to share any pictures without feeling embarrassed. Anyway, goodbye for now. I really like this guy's link in the description here. I like this guy's channel. I'm gonna use this video, speed it up, and I'm just gonna use it as my backdrop while I talk over it. I can't look at it, otherwise I'm gonna get distracted and laugh. I really like this video, so I'm gonna talk over it. So I didn't want to end on a note. I wanted to end on a more positive note. There's many reasons why I have this channel. I'm not into doing things as much as I used to in my 20s online. The only thing I'm really interested, as I get older, I only really want to kind of use the internet for like looking things up on YouTube, like certain tutorials or recipes, and maybe saying hi once in a while, maybe playing little video games. You know, when I need to distract myself from what haunts me, I'll either clean the house a little more. You know, if I'm not doing my daily chores, maybe I'll get organized a little more. Maybe I'll paint. Maybe I'll play some video games online. So I can really see myself, you know, kind of retiring into that, and kind of just, the older I get, you know, just really the only thing I want to use the internet for is just to game, you know, tell little stories on YouTube, bake, I don't know, makes, you know, share with you some dinner I made. I'm not really into family vlogging, so there won't be too many updates. I'm not gonna like follow my kids around with a camera. Like, I might tell you what I had for dinner, but you know, I think I just had to, I was so afraid I couldn't imagine a world where I could upload a video and say, I don't have my custody. Like, I couldn't even imagine sharing like old footage. I couldn't even imagine that. I just, I was so afraid to even say I didn't have my custody to anybody. And now I'm like, really, it's very hard for me to share even old footage with my family. And maybe I want to share like you know, some Christmas footage or something someday. I don't know. I don't know what I'll want to do in the future, but I know that I'm not into family vlogging. I'm not gonna like follow my kids around with a camera. I'm never gonna do that. Like, I'm just not into it. I don't want my children to have very much of a presence online until they're older. If they want, when they're older, you know, they can watch stuff on YouTube, Kids app, you know, once in a while. But you know, I know where I'm at right now. I just want to paint, share that with you guys online, play some video games. But I had to see just comments from nobodies, complete nobodies, that say the things that I was so afraid to see in comment form. The reasons why I wouldn't share certain things about myself. And most people aren't, you know, most people aren't into even sharing any personal information, and that's okay. You know, to each their own. For a very long time, I had no desire to share anything about my personal life. For 10 years, dude. And after about 13 years, man, I was so afraid of seeing what kind of comments could happen if you know, people knew I had a kid, and if people knew I didn't have custody of my firstborn. And now that it's happened, like, it feels good, man. Like, I don't know why I'm still so embarrassed to even share pictures of my own child, their old footage, just to say, like, you know, hey, well, first of all, I picked that old footage because I like that it shows the room. It has, it says, hey, this is my dad, this is my best friend. You know, I really liked the footage for many reasons that I could talk about. I could use the same footage over and over and talk about, you know, if I wanted to talk about anything at all. That footage was good for talking about a few different topics. I loved that room. We had a nice little room set up for the girls. And there was 2 beds in there, and my best friend had a cool little Cars bed, and I had a bed set up for mine. And I ordered, actually, it was a nice cherry wood frame I ordered offline. Me and my father ordered it, and we had it shipped to the house. So there's 2 beds in that room, and I liked the room. And sometimes I don't even want to talk about my daughter. Sometimes I just want to talk about this nice bedroom that I had, and that haunted me when it was empty for years. So yeah, that's all I want to say. You know, something that used to haunt me turned into something positive for me. You know, well it is. I'm trying to, you know, my fears were to say something. I couldn't imagine ever saying I didn't have my custody, and now it's starting to turn into this positive thing for me. So thank you for listening, and have a good day.